Today I want to talk about Warren Buffett's comments on investing in equities and stock versus investing in real estate and what that means to us as realtors. Buffett is a legend. I have his books. I read everything he says. I think he's made a lot of great points in his comments about the differences between real estate and stock investment, but he's missing a lot of nuances that I want to share with everyone. In his mind, there is way more opportunity in investing in stocks than there is in real estate investments. And what I would say is, if you have the mind of Warren Buffett and the experience of Warren Buffett, he's probably not wrong. In fact, he's probably right. He prefers the liquidity, the scale, and efficiency, getting in fast, getting out fast, being able to cash out, cash in, all those things. And that's true. Real estate is more of a long-term hold. But I would say that efficiency, that quickness, also creates a very volatile market. And unless you're really a pro, trying to time the fluctuations of the stock market is super difficult. Here's an interesting quote that he does. He cites real estate as having appreciated from 1988 till 2025 as going up 374%. Stocks have gone up 2,218%. Now, I haven't verified that information, so I can't affirm whether that's true or not. But here's a nuance that he missed. Buying stock, you're investing 100% of your money, so that 2,000 plus return is based on 100% investment. When you buy real estate, you're generally putting 20% or less down, so that 374% is based on a 20% investment. Therefore, we would have to recalculate that to determine which was better, and I got a hunch the real estate investment's better. He makes the comment that the compounding and the ease of investing in stocks makes it a much better investment. But that ease can also cause great mistakes. And just buying the wrong stock at the wrong time or the right stock at the wrong time can cost you a fortune. Stock trades are instant, they're efficient, and they're scalable. And that's great if you're Warren Buffett, because you have the experience and knowledge to make those quick decisions. I would follow him 100%. But to be in that fast pace of an environment as a neophyte, not for me. Real estate sales is a much more laborious process. The negotiation, the acceptance, the disclosure period, the title checks, insurance, escrow procedures, all of these things we call washes the deal. Actually make sure that by the time you get to the end of the funnel, that is a deal that you have confidence in going forward with, or not. And that's the beauty of the real estate process. So even though it's very, very complex and complicated, it provides some insurance that you're either making a great buy or no, I'm not going forward. I mean, people that day trade and things like that and trying to time markets, I got a feeling more people lose money than make money. For the everyday American, it's almost like gambling. For the everyday average American, that's where real estate shines, because as an investment, it creates stability, it creates security, and it actually provides tangible benefits like a home or passive income or other things that stocks just can't provide. Buffett is managing billions of dollars, and he's doing it day in, day out, and he's done it for years and years. That's what makes him an expert at what he does. Now, what I love about real estate, and don't get me wrong, I'm invested in the stock market as well, and I've done very, very well in the stock market because I have a really good advisor. But what I love about real estate is that it's tangible. I also like the leverage of it. I like the fact that you put 20% down on a piece of property, but your appreciation is based on 100% of the sales price. That's where the real money's being made. Investing in real estate and apartment buildings and commercial properties is so powerful because you get all the tax benefits. You get the depreciation. You get all the expenses that you can write off. Plus you get the passive cash flow. You know what we like to call that? Mailbox money. When you walk out to your mailbox and there are the checks. Where else can you do that? And then when it comes to selling, you can actually use that IRS code the 1031, and we've all heard so much about that, where you can defer your taxes and just keep trading up and buying bigger and bigger and bigger properties over time. You're not paying taxes at every single event. That is how generational wealth is passed down over the years. By just moving these assets to the next generation, they get the step-up rate, and then they can keep buying and growing it as well. And actually, market preferences do matter. 37% of Americans feel more comfortable buying real estate than stock. Only 16% of Americans prefer stock over real estate. So that should say a lot to you right there. Also, like when you're living in your property and you're experiencing your property, it creates a whole different feeling towards your investment. Generational wealth, we talk about that a lot. I actually prefer a diversified platform. I think you should have some investments in stock, and I think you should have some investment in real estate and any other great investment assets. Being diversified is the key. So for us realtors, let's kind of review some of Warren Buffett's comments. The first one, complexity. Well, that's actually helpful to us. We're actually part of that complex process, and we're going to shepherd and guide our clients from A to Z through a real estate transaction. Relationships, problem solving, being able to see around corners, being able to guide and shepherd our clients, that's where we excel and where we exceed. Real estate rewards those that work hard and are consistent, also being students of the game. One thing we can all learn from Warren Buffett, he knows what he's talking about. He knows the markets. He knows the companies. He knows what the leadership's up to. He knows their profit and loss statements backwards and forwards. He knows the vision and where they're heading. We need to take that same skill set, that same knowledge base, and apply it to real estate. We need to know the property values. We need to know the codes. We need to know the building ordinances. We need to know the changing laws and landscapes. We need to know trends and what's happening within the communities. And most important, we need to know the inventory. We need to know what's on the market, what's sold, what's pending, and not even just in the moment, but a historical average. If we arm ourselves with the facts like Warren Buffett does, we will be amazing realtors. All right, his next thing is that while real estate is really complex, buying stocks is simple, efficient, and super scalable. Well, I would say simple for him. Like, I have no idea what's going on behind the curtain in companies, and I am very, very nervous to make investments without talking to my financial advisor. And I also get a little nervous about the fluctuations in the stock market. So even though it's easy to get in and easy to get out, you kind of have to hold the same as you do for real estate long term, or you may get caught in one of those fluctuating cycles. Therefore, they're not that dissimilar in terms of whether to hold or try to get in and out fast. Real estate, obviously, you can't get in and out fast, but there's risks involved with getting in and out fast with the stock market. I just have to laugh, and I'm guilty of this as well. Warren Buffett is in the equity business, the stock business. Why wouldn't he push stocks over real estate? Something to think about. I think it gives you control. I think it gives you stability. And I think it gives you equity growth in a way that stocks simply can't. Plus, that transformational experience. And even in investment properties, you're going to have tenants that you're going to make friends with, that you're going to support, and their lives will be changed by having a business in your property or creating their family and memories in your property. As not being a Warren Buffett, as just being a typical person, I am way more comfortable in the real estate world, buying and selling real estate, than I am playing the stock market. I think the stock market is a wonderful investment. Obviously, I have stocks and bonds and all kinds of equity, but I don't know much about it, and I rely 100% on my financial advisor. Whereas in real estate, I think even for the average person, there's a sense of comfort, a sense of stability that you just can't get from anything else.